Hi, I'm Lisa Carberg, host of Seasons Magazine's Up Close. We are so proud and very excited to be bringing Seasons Magazines to TV. We're proud to bring you the best of Seasons Magazines, delivered quarterly to over 50,000 homes across our state of Connecticut, from the Litchfield Hills to the shoreline and in between. We have a little something for everyone. Today, take a ride with our own Hilary Russo as she rides with the Discovery Channel's Wayne Carini.
Let's hit it. How fast are you gonna go?
Fast as you want.
Fast enough to keep up with the Chrysler Town and Country?
We're gonna lose them in about 2 minutes.
When it comes to cars, Wayne Carini isn't messing around. But this self-proclaimed automobile architect knows his stuff. We got behind the wheel of a vintage '79 Ferrari and hit the road so I could find out more about the guy under the hood.
Don't panic if we lose you.
For 8 seasons, the Glastonbury native has been the star of Velocity's hit TV show Chasing Classic Cars, the brainchild of car enthusiast and television executive Jim Ostrowski. Since the beginning, Essex Television Group, co-founded by Ostrowski, has been producing the show. 9 years later, Carini, a devoted husband and father, is no stranger to the streets. The show is seen in millions of homes in over 37 countries. So when Wayne comes to town, car lovers flock.
You're kind of a celebrity everywhere you go.
All over the world, 37 countries now. It's amazing.
So what's it like when you come home? Are you just Wayne, the local guy in Connecticut, or do you still get that?
No. It's you know, you gotta have your feet on the ground.
This TV show could be all over with in another few years. You gotta keep your job and your family, and family's the most important thing to me, and it always has been. You know, I have an unbelievable wife that she just is so understanding, and she takes such great care of our daughter.
You mentioned one of your daughters has autism.
Yeah.
That's something very close to your heart as far as getting the word out and supporting that cause.
We don't want to. I don't want to stand on a soapbox and preach about it, but yet we want people to know that the problem exists, and that maybe prompts them to look into it a little bit more and to be willing to donate to that charity. And you know, I'm so lucky because our shows are not scripted. I come up with all the ideas. It's just how my life goes, and then they film it, so it's pretty easy. And every once in a while, I'll have my daughter in it.
Carini's love of cars started at a young age. Hanging around the family garage and attending car shows with his dad, Wayne first caught a fever for Ferraris. In fact, the name of his Portland business, F40 Motorsports, is no coincidence. His catalog of celebrity clients includes everyone from Leno to Letterman. And his laundry list of restoration jobs is equally impressive, including some classic finds you may recognize from the movies. His latest project, the notorious Buick Roadmaster convertible from Rain Man, owned by film's director Barry Levinson, who's loaning the car to Carini for the summer car show circuit. But not without good reason.
Car shows are always great to have charities involved, so we always try to make sure, and because of my involvement with autism, now more and more car shows have that as their main charity, so they're able to give back.
Do you feel that Chasing Classic Cars and just your love for this industry has created more awareness?
It has changed the automobile world and how people look at automobiles and how they understand them a little bit better. You know, people always say, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your TV show, and it's just changed my life totally.
Let's get this thing done. Let's get it sold. Big money.
You go from auction to restoration to selling. Is it hard to let go of something that you've bought, kind of nurtured, you rebuilt, you restored, and then you're going and you're selling it?
Yeah, it's a little difficult sometimes to let something go, but you look at the bigger picture. In order to buy a new one, you have to sell an old one. People always ask me, what's the best car that you own? And I say the next one.
How are you about letting other people drive your cars?
I'm good with it.
Yeah?
I'm good, yeah. So I was brought up in my father's house where, boy, don't mess with his cars. Don't get within 10 feet of them.
Everything's
you can't
a museum.
Touch them. You can't. You know, when we would go to car shows, I was the guard. I'd stand next to the car all day and tell people, please don't touch it. Please don't get near it. I had learned from that I didn't want to be that way. So I'm good. If anybody wants to get in it, touch it, I don't care. You know, we can always fix it.
Right.
And that's how we get young people involved with cars. If you just tell them you can look at it, but you can't get near it within 10 feet of it, you can't drive it, you can't touch it, the kids will go, well, what do I want with that? But if you invite them to go and sit in the car and you start the engine up for them, or you take them for a ride, it changes everything.
Is it ever about the speed?
Oh yeah, I mean we love to go fast, but
How fast can this go?
This will do 120.
Oh.
You know, this is
like
not
a walk
really,
in the car.
This is not really a super fast car, but yeah, the speed is very fun.
Yeah.
In a controlled environment.
But I think you have to have respect for it as well. Oh, okay, we're gonna lose the car behind us. Wow, talk about a wild ride. I think I have a new passion. The next question is, I just gotta figure out which car it's gonna be. I think it's this one. For Seasons Magazine's Up Close, I'm Hilary Russo. We'll see you next time. Hopefully driving this.
I'm Ashley Cole for Seasons Magazine's Up Close. Nestled in the heart of Simsbury, Connecticut, a quintessential New England town, McLean is a vibrant life plan community that offers seniors an opportunity to live a lifestyle that's filled with exploration, activity, education, and enrichment. Residents have their choice of a beautifully appointed villa, charming cottage, or cozy apartment in the village, and enjoy the rewards of membership of a life plan community.
McLean Village, it's a wonderful, close-knit community. We truly are a neighborhood. The residents watch out for one another. They celebrate all life's moments, birthdays, anniversaries, grandchildren, and they just work so well together. And it makes my job so much easier because it's like being the neighborhood mom.
And you have a passion for what you do.
I love what I do. I feel very fortunate that I can get to know all of my residents. Lots of jobs you don't get to have the intimate relationships with your clients or with our residents, and I get to do that on a day-to-day basis, and they're definitely family. They are not residents to me, they're part of my family.
I am basically a concierge to the residents here. I help organize events on campus and also outside of campus, and I also coordinate transportation to various doctor's offices in the Farmington Valley area. I love it. It's my background is in elementary school. I worked as a teacher's aide, and this is just different, but they're so welcoming and they're friendly, and they bring so much knowledge too. So I'm learning things every day about the community and about the people that I'm here to work for.
A move to McLean is an exciting time of life to be enjoyed and looked forward to. Take it from those who call it home.
Well, I live in a very secluded area back in the cottages, and I like the outdoors, so I particularly like that location. The snow comes down and I don't have to worry about it. And when the grass pops up, I don't have to worry about that either. It's just a very comfortable place.
I lived 7/10 of a mile from here. And my parents were here for 8 years when they could no longer take care of themselves. So I was very familiar with McLean. We did look at other places and opted that this had everything we wanted. Freedom. I think the freedom that I don't have to worry about outside anymore. I can come and go as I want to. I can do as much as I want to as far as the activities here. And I do like to join in a lot of those, but I still can do everything outside that I always did. I can't say I've dropped anything. I still do all the things that I've done before. Obviously, at my age, I am not playing golf every day. I play 3 times a week in the season and enjoy it very much. Have some new friends because a lot of my old friends really can't play anymore. So I'm getting to know the younger girls in the group, and then that's good. And they're very kind and nice, and we have a good time. We have a good time with it. It took a while for me to finally realized that now was the time, and it was the weather. I did not want to cope with the responsibility of a house anymore. It was too much. So I decided I'd like to be taken care of. And there's loneliness. There are things here that you can do. We are not a rowdy bunch that we're out all the time, but you walk through the halls and you see somebody and you chat for a while, or there are lots of activities that you can do too. But it was the freedom to be able to do inside what I wanted to do and outside what I wanted to do, and not worry about it being far from where I had located before.
Several staff members believe in it so much that they hope to one day retire and eventually reside here.
Growing old is something that we all do, and when it's my time to be in a supportive community, I know this is where I'd want to be. I want my parents here if they live nearby. I'm just honored to be part of such a wonderful team. We're all about wellness and independence. How can we help somebody stay as well as possible and as independent as possible with some soft supports for as long as possible? The magic is really the people. It's the care partners who care for them, the residents, their families, and all of our staff. It's a wonderful family.
Many families find the transition very difficult and often call it a challenge trying to encourage their parents to move from their family home to a place that offers freedom and an ideal quality of life.
I would give some practical advice first. I would say, give yourself some time. Don't wait until reality hits you in the face and your mom falls, as is often the case, or your dad, or your parent has declined so much mentally or physically that it's sort of too late. I would say trust your instincts, visit lots of places, and if you end up visiting McLean, you will find, as my mother did after 3 visits, because we kept coming back to McLean, that it's the right fit. And if you feel it in your heart, sort of silence your head. It's a good, safe, wonderful place. It's kind of like when you take your firstborn off to college. You know in your heart when it's the right place. And I think that's going to be true for anybody, but don't pretend it isn't going to happen. And that's okay if you do it with respect and treat your parent with love and dignity. They'll be fine in the end. One is peace of mind for me. I know that my mom is in a safe and happy place surrounded by wonderful people. And the second is it's really allowed my mom to have what I would call a second lease on life. Her life, it's the quality of her life now that's been enhanced, and it's terrific.
What are you most hoping for as your mother settles into her new life here?
Again, I think for her to have the most independent, productive life that she can have for as long as she can have it. I also love the fact that she has the opportunity, if she needs additional care, she can have it here on this campus, and she doesn't have to suddenly pick up stakes and sort of go through the whole process again. And I have the sense, even though we haven't had that experience, that people, even as you move from, let's say, independent to assisted, people are still visiting you, people are still your friend, people are still caring about you. So, again, your life isn't completely uprooted. The family stays with you, the McLean family, not just your own.
We had a beautiful summer this year, and a lot of us got to spend some good quality time outside. If you spent some time in your own yard, you may have ended up with a glowing tan, a list of improvements that you'd like to make for next year, and a little something that I like to call pool envy. If your yard is ready for an upgrade, then it's time to call Mike from Aquapool. So I'm here today with Mike Gianamore of Aquapool. So tell me a little bit about the process. How does it all start?
It all starts with a phone call. There are some people that call up and it's going to happen now. There's other people who they call up and they say, we have no idea.
That's probably a lot of people, I would think, too.
And they need a pro.
Yes.
And that's our staff. You will spend more time looking at your pool than you ever will in your pool. You might be reading in the chair, you might be dining by the pool, you might be sitting by the fire pit, but you're going to be around the pool or from the house looking out at the pool more than anything. So it starts with how is this going to look, and then it's all questions and answers and interviews and discussions on how is it going to function and which features that you may not have even known about.
Right.
We'll tell you about them. We're going to make sure your money is spent the right way. Once we build it, it's going to perform the way we said it would. And then if you need any help with it, we're there 7 days a week, 12 months of the year if you need our help. There's a lot of families we built pools for that they said, this is the final house, we're never moving, or we moved to this area because of the grandkids.
Right.
And we want them here.
What are some of the favorite things that you've done?
Well, the entire office will make fun of me because I'm always in favor of the linear geometric rectangles. I like the straight lines, I like the classic shapes. There's one that it's called a perimeter overflow. Okay. So it's a rectangular pool. The hot tub is in the middle of the shallow end, so your toes get wet on your way in. And the spa overflows into the pool. The pool overflows into a gutter system. The gutter system drains into a surge tank. Picture a big fuel tank underground. And then we pump all the water back up into the spa and the pool to make it overflow again. Yeah. So it looks like the fountains outside Versailles in France, but it's a swimming pool in a backyard right outside of Hartford. Okay. You don't open a catalog with what we do. There's no catalog that you choose model A through Z. Everything from the 20 by 40 rectangle to something like this is customized. Where are the steps? How big are the steps? What's the interior finish? What kind of lighting? How many lights? And then once we get to build the pool, the customer service after the fact is a huge part of all of it. We stand behind what we do. When the pool is done, we have a team of people that are out on Saturday afternoons taking care of yards. We're on call on weekends. We do maintenance. Just
and
like
you do opening and closing at the beginning and the end of the season?
Absolutely. And just like a lot of people don't mow their own lawns, a lot of people don't want to clean their own pools.
So where did you start from though? What are the roots of Aquapool?
1970, the company was in its first year of existence and my father bought a pool.
So he wasn't there yet,
No.
He just bought the pool.
He bought a pool. Like our existing customers, like our new customers, he thought my family, there were 5 kids, would enjoy a swimming pool. He had his real job, that's what we say, and he thought, wow, this really changed my family's life. It really added to the environment. I believe in what this company created for me. He got so entrenched in the business that he then became a partner. The original owner moved to Florida. My father became the full owner of the company. But it's a family business. I work with one of my sisters. Another sister worked there for many years. And we have a staff of people that rivals no one. I work with the nicest, hardest working people you've ever met. I tell people, even though my father doesn't like this line, other than a really well-designed kitchen.
Very important.
There's nothing to bring your family together, to bring your friends and family together like a well-designed backyard pool. People want to entertain, they want to lounge, they want to cool off, and they want everyone together. And that is the goal, and that's what people call us for. They want the family together, they want the friends to be here, they don't want to travel, they don't want to go to the rental house, and they try to create something like this. Maybe you have a fire pit, you're going to be out here in a part of your yard that you wouldn't have used before. You're going to leave the TV behind, hopefully you'll even leave your cell phone behind. You're out here, you're by the pool. Even if you don't get wet, you used the pool. Then, as the sun goes down, maybe you'll turn on the hot tub, maybe you actually will get wet.
From custom designs to modern facelifts, spas to waterfalls, it seems that if you can dream it, Aquapool can create it. If your backyard is ready to be upgraded to a private oasis, there's only one call you need to make: Aquapool.
From Hartford to Branford, all across the great state of Connecticut, local breweries are popping up everywhere, providing a new kind of brew for beer lovers. We tapped into some of the local hangouts that are crafting up not only beer, but a unique style all their own. Our first stop, the Cambridge House Brew Pub in Granby. With a lot of miles to cover, we aren't wasting any time.
All right, so I say we go get ourselves a brew.
Owner Scott Riley usually leaves the taps to his staff, but we caught up with him behind the bar. A perfect time to learn from the man himself about the perfect pour.
So
let
open
it
it
go
up and then
first.
stick it in. Yeah.
Right?
And then straighten up the glass.
And yeah? Is that good?
That's pretty good. It's a little short.
Okay?
It's a little short.
A little short. What do you mean space? I think it needs more space. Lover of beer.
Yep, that's the only thing got me into it. I think people are finding out more about beer and, decent beer instead of just, plain run-of-the-mill, white American lagers, but beers with some real flavor.
That's where brewer Mike Yates steps in, giving us a tour of an office most beer lovers can only dream about.
Welcome, you guys. Welcome to the brewery here at Cambridge House Brew Pub.
A mad scientist of the suds, Mike starts out with the simplest of ingredients: malted barley, hops, and water, all mixed up nicely into a monster mash. A bubbly mix with a mission. Add a little yeast and a lot of love. You've got yourself the ultimate brew.
Your research is
I
fun.
think I have a little research project right over there on my desk right now.
You do.
You gotta keep track of these things. That's a taste sample.
Can you see yourself doing anything else?
Not really. Not at this point. No. It's fun. It's an adventure all the time. It's always something new.
Tricia and Andrew are no strangers to the Cambridge House and are always up for trying what's on tap. But these two also have their eyes on another prize.
I think it's great that you can't just get a regular bottled beer here. I think that's what makes this so unique, where we can come and actually get your own mug. You know what I mean? That we thought that was really a kind of a fun, cool idea to do that with your name on it.
So there's a mission here.
There's a mission.
Well, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
To the microbreweries.
Microbreweries.
Well, cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
And cheers to this guy, Brian Turner, founder and creator of the Connecticut Beer Trail. This lover of the lagers turned his passion for the pint into a hopping business. His dream? Creating a portal that gives beer lovers an easy way to discover the breweries in his home state. The Beer Trail website gives visitors a way to plan out their trip to the Connecticut taps, along with bus tours, events, and even membership to the website's Trailblazers Club.
Why do you think people are so intrigued by the microbreweries and brewing beer? And we see people going to vineyards and wineries and doing the wine trails. Where do you think we're going with these brew trails?
The great thing about craft beer and local craft beer is, you're drinking a beer that's fun in and of itself, but now you're drinking a beer that one of your neighbors made. And these guys aren't just making beer. For them, it's an art form, and they put a lot of their heart and soul into it.
Mark Sigmund sees the art behind the beer, literally. In fact, the owner of Plainville's Relic Brewing takes his labels and his lagers pretty seriously.
Do you consider yourself a brewmaster?
I consider myself way more of like a brewer chef. I mean, I'm a real hardcore foodie, like a real foodie. I eat at great restaurants and I only shop at the best places. And it's like, and I grow a ton of my own stuff. And I really enjoy like combining different ingredients and cooking, and that's where almost all the inspiration for the beer comes from.
From the lavender found in Mark's own garden to the types of lemons he uses, these are truly homemade brews. You'll just have to come in for a taste test yourself and experience what he calls the artful side.
Our brewery has always been way more about like the artful side. Oh, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. I mean, we certainly write things down, but we change things up and we do a lot of experiments and we let our creativity go. It's the same with the labels. A lot of breweries have just one template and kind of go from there. We decided to do different labels for all our different beers.
Hiring local artists to design his labels, don't expect to find two of a kind. Just ask graphic designer, home brewer, and cool beer labels author Stephen Spieg, a regular at Relic, and a guy who knows a thing or two about how art can be influential.
I always found myself at beer stores selecting beers that had the coolest labels. And that's how I got into more and more different unique beers. And when I found Mark, because his beer labels are all different, I just got more and more deeper into craft beer.
What is it about the local brewery that really appeals to you more than like the big guys?
It's just the fresh taste. I mean, you can't beat it. And then just getting to know the person that actually brews it, I find very fascinating. You get to talk to the guy, the brewmaster, who actually created the beer and get his take on it.
Before we head back out on the trail, another chance at the perfect pour.
So you want to basically just like on, off.
Okay.
Any in-between business.
Sure, whatever you say.
That's just how I get free
So we are on our way to the next brewery, and here's a little fact for you. The Connecticut Beer Trail has over 30 breweries throughout the entire state of Connecticut. All I can say is that I'm really glad we're driving, because walking that would be the ultimate pub crawl.
Last stop on the trail, Thomas Hooker Brewery in Bloomfield, where owner Kirk Cameron gives me the grand tour on a busy night.
Now, to be able to own a brewery, you gotta love the beer.
You do have to love the beer. But you know, what I always tell people is you have to remember it's a business as well. And I think that a lot of times people go into this just for the love of beer and they forget the business component of things. Combination of the two is really a necessity to be a successful brewery.
Not to mention philanthropy, a big component of Cameron's business model. Hang out at Hooker on any first or third Friday of the month. And this is the scene. Beer lovers gathering for a charitable evening on tap, complete with brewery tours and endless pours. One pay-at-the-door price provides a sample of some of Cameron's favorites for a great cause.
Do you know how to make beer?
I know how to make beer.
Are you a brewmaster?
I'm not.
You're not a brewmaster?
No.
Where do you find the brewmaster? Nobody wants to call themselves a brewmaster.
Well, brewmaster usually means the person who's really in charge of the production component of the brewery. And we have a couple different people, so I don't know if there's actually a brewmaster per se. There's also something called a master brewer, which is a different moniker.
I'm looking for that ultimate brewmaster. It's like I'm looking for the guy with the hat.
Yeah.
And he's got the mustache.
And the big beard, I know.
That seems to be a big thing here.
Yeah.
The beards. I've come across a lot of beards.
We have a mustache and beard group that comes almost every one of these open houses, and they're just characters. I mean, you'll meet a couple of them as you go up there. They're pretty easy to spot.
You think so?
I think you'll find them.
Mission accomplished. Now with some of my bearded brew buddies, I make my way to the front room bar for what else? My last attempt at the perfect pour.
You want a watermelon?
Let's fill that up. She's going to fill it up over here.
I apologize in advance.
Oh, put your cup under, pull the tap wide open. Well, put the cup under first. Now shut it off. There you go. Perfect beer.
All right. I take tips.
That was a perfect pour.
Oh, perfect pour.
3 breweries down, and finally, after a long day on the trail, I master the perfect pour. But I'm still missing one thing: the hunt for the ultimate brewmaster, the grand poobah of the Connecticut Beer Trail. Maybe I can find him on Turner's website. Or maybe, just maybe.
It's a very tangible way of uniting all the breweries, the brew pubs, and a lot of the craft beer bars that sell the beer under one program. It's nice, you know, and people are proud. I see people in bars, sometimes they'll recognize me, which is kind of weird for me, but they'll pull out their card, or they'll be wearing one of the shirts, and it's kind of cool, so it's nice.
I got it. Maybe you're the brewmaster.
No.
You're it.
No.
You're the man.
Just a simple man with a web page, that's all.
If you've missed any of our show or would like to see additional footage or share with friends, check out our free app, Seasons Magazine's CT, for all devices. That does it for this edition of Seasons Magazine's Up Close. I'm Lisa Carberg. Thanks for watching.